Choosing to remodel your home or build a new one is a huge decision, and finding the right person to trust with your biggest investment can feel overwhelming. But we've got the perfect person here to offer advice. Brian Schmidt of Brian Schmidt Builder. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Okay, so you built our kitchen here.
I did.
You've built brand new homes. You've done a lot of remodels. So from an insider perspective, how do you choose a builder or remodeler?
Well, the most important thing, it is a big purchase. You're not going down and you're buying a car or you're buying a computer. This is
Which most people would think cars are big purchases.
Well, and as far as like,
saying,
it's not a product that you're buying, right? There's lots of decisions to be made, so there's lots of ways to get to the same outcome. So it's super important to spend the time. So you want to make sure that you're understanding what's most important to you as they're coming into my home, they're changing my home, or they're building my home.
Yeah.
And these are incredibly personal and important endeavors to go under. So is it important that it be high quality? Is it important that it be fast? Or is price the most important thing? So as you look at those three components, you want to understand what's the key element, but you also want to say, who is the person that's going to be able to help me best? And it takes time, and it's important to participate in the process and then really invest in it so that you have the outcome that you want.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people know a guy, they know someone, they got a guy, right? But like, that's not always the best route.
Well, I mean, you just don't necessarily know what you're going to get, so you have to invest in that process again. So you want to look at the CCB, that's the Oregon Construction Contractors Board. Take a look at everybody's record, ask questions, look for references. Everybody should be able to supply an example contract, or how do they put together their estimates? So really spend that time asking questions.
That's great. And you know, we hear the term licensed and bonded a lot, but like what exactly does that mean, and how can we verify those things?
Well, being licensed means that you're registered with the state, you've posted your bond, so you have that should anything go wrong. Also, if your project is on an older home, you want to look and make sure that they're lead certified and that they're asbestos certified. That's an entirely different subset of category, and it's important for the health and safety of your home and the project and your family to make sure that you're hiring somebody that's qualified.
So you kind of addressed it, but what should we look for in terms of experience then?
Well, I mean, have you done this type of project before? I mean, that's a simple question you can ask any contractor. Can you show me pictures of what you've done before? Is it their only job? Are they just out there kind of in the back of a pickup truck for that age-old kind of example? Or is this truly, are you working with a reputable business?
Yeah, and you know, is there a way to feel out their kind of, if they'll stay dedicated to the project? Because we've all heard those stories. It's probably happened to a lot of us. We start a project and they're like, I'll be back tomorrow. Then they don't show up tomorrow, right? So how can we prevent something like that?
And that's when you ask for those references.
Okay.
Ask those questions of the people who've worked with the contractor before. They'll answer honestly. And if there's hiccups and whatnot, you want to know that up front so that you can plan and understand. And ultimately that speaks to, as a client, you want to do all of your work up front to make sure that you're not deciding things on the fly. That will keep the project moving forward well, and your contractor should be pulling that information out of you and saying that it should be designed early.
Okay, that's good to know. I understand there are different kinds of contracts.
Yes.
I would not have known that, so explain that.
So with any transaction, you want to look at what that contract looks like. So asking for an example of the contract is kind of the first step, and you can kind of see that. Typically in the industry, we have a fixed price contract and a cost plus. Fixed price contract means that you see the price of the project, you don't see the ins and outs of how you get to that price.
Okay.
A cost plus is more of an open book. You see all the detail, everything is out, you see invoices, you see all of that to create that cost. It really depends on what's important to you. Some clients really like just knowing this is the price and moving forward. Others really want that detail, and it's important to meet with the contractor you're working with to make sure that you're in line
Okay, so
with one another.
just whatever preference you have is okay, just as long as you're communicating that with
Right, and do that before you start the project. You don't want to ask those questions after you sign the contract, so do that early.
Of course. And you know, you say trust is so important here. That's kind of the most important thing you should be looking for, not if they can do it the quickest or if they can do it the cheapest, but really trust.
You're making typically a large investment. Like I said, they're in your home. These are people that you're going to spend a lot of time with. You want it to be enjoyable, but you also want to make sure they're going to do the things that they said they were going to do, so that you're looking at the end result and are happy with it.
Yeah. Well, this is good advice. I think a lot of people, you're right, it's a big decision that can make them nervous. So you've given us a lot of good tips to move forward. So how can people contact you?
Go to our website, brianschmidtbuilder.com. Our phone number is on the screen for you there. Stop by and say hi.
All right. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you very much.